Hey YouTube, Free California here, and today we're going to be taking a look at a new flashlight put out by Striker Concepts. This is their B.A.M.F.F 8.0. It's an 800 lumen flashlight. So we're going to take a look at this flashlight, but also Striker Concepts has donated two Flexit 4.0 flashlights that I have right here, and we're going to do a giveaway. So at the end of the video, we're going to talk about how that giveaway is actually going to work, and we'll take a little bit deeper look at the Flexit 4.0s. So first thing we're going to do with this flashlight, we're going to go ahead and do a quick unboxing. And just to let you guys know, I've already been in this box. I was so excited to see this flashlight that I just had to tear into it and check it out. And I've actually had this for a few weeks now, so I've also been messing around with it, playing with it, taking it out and testing it. And so far I'm really impressed, and we'll try and throw in some footage of me actually using this flashlight just so you guys can get an idea of some of the stuff that it actually does. So let's go ahead and tear into this flashlight. And as I'm opening the box, I'll also let you guys know that you also get a card here which can give you a discount when you order from them. And then you also get a brochure that shows you all their current new products that they have. And there's some pretty dang cool stuff in there. They're not just a tactical flashlight company. They have actually a lot of different stuff going on. And so, I'll have to apologize. This may be slightly different than I got it, just because I've been in this box. But more or less, it came approximately like this. So first and foremost, you can see here, we have our B.A.M.F.F flashlight, and this is the 8.0. It also comes in a 4.0 and a 6.0. And so, I'm assuming that most of you are probably thinking, this means bad A, mother effing flashlight. And in some senses, yeah, I guess you could say that's kind of what it is. But the actual Striker Concepts definition of the acronym for B.A.M.F.F is as follows. It is a broad array multi-flood flashlight. So I'm going to go ahead and open the brochure to the page here so you guys can kind of see it. You have to work past the little glare there. So this is in their brochure. So it does, as you can see, come in the 400, a 600, and an 800 lumen model, which is what I have here. So we'll just remove this. Everything else was kind of tucked underneath here. And you have a little 3 AAA battery pack that you can use in here if you want to use the batteries. And we'll go over here in a little bit. If you use the batteries, like the AAAs versus the rechargeable, it does slightly change the amount of times things will last in certain power modes. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. This, as far as quality goes, I mean, it seems totally functional. It's going to work. It's not going to just fall apart. It's not the most robust little piece of plastic, but you also have to remember that this is just a thin piece of plastic, and it has to be able to fit inside the flashlight. So I say this is definitely okay. There's nothing wrong with this. It's not the nicest thing I've ever seen, but it's going to totally function, and that's really what matters here, is if it's going to work or if it's not going to work. So then you get a little micro USB to regular USB cable, and this is how you're going to charge it. You're going to actually plug this right into the charger right here on the side, and then you can actually plug this just right into your computer, or you can plug it into like your phone wall plug. I know they recommend using like the computer. I've used both. It seems to function. Here is your battery. This is a 2600 milliamp hour 3.7 volt lithium ion battery, and I'm not sure how familiar most of you guys are with batteries, but lithium ion's good stuff. It's going to be one of the longest lasting rechargeables, so that's always a good thing. As far as the charger goes, it's totally functional and it looks fine, but it doesn't feel like super heavy duty. And if you're really thinking about a charger, it's not supposed to be something that you're out smashing on rocks or anything like that, which I feel like if you were really rough with this thing, it would probably break. However, if you're using it as a charger and you're not abusing it, I don't see there being any problems with this charger. It seems like it's reasonable quality for a flashlight charger. So then also inside the flashlight, we have a tube, a plastic tube, and this actually goes just around here, and it just makes it so that it's a perfect fit with your battery inside when you're using the chargeable here in the back of your flashlight. And then if you're going to use your plastic shell with the 3 AAA batteries, you would of course remove that, so that way you can have plenty of room to fit this down the tube. So you also have this paper in here that tells you a little bit of the instructions, how to operate the flashlight, and then some of the different features and brightness and how long things will last. So in the high setting mode for the flashlight, so you'll be pumping out 800 lumens, which is really bright. When you're in the low setting, you're going to be pumping out 120 lumens, which is still fairly bright. With all these battery facts that I'm about to give you, as far as I understand, are based upon the rechargeable battery. It will be slightly less if you're using your battery case with the 3 AAAs. So when you're in high mode, you have about an hour and 45 minutes of use, which for a tactical flashlight in high mode, which is, you know, like if you were clearing a building or searching for something, you know, that's pretty good. You could search in the low mode as well, but I mean, this is like a blinding light, so you have to think an hour and 45 minutes of blinding light if that's what you want, potentially. Or 11 hours in the low mode. You know, so this is not the flashlight you're like, oh, I don't want to change my batteries for like 15 years. No, this is a purpose-built functional flashlight that's going to do what you want it to, you know, for an allotted amount of time. So just keep that in mind. So it's saying the distance of the flashlight that you're going to really be able to use this, you know, effectively is out to 170 meters. And then the impact resistance of this flashlight, it could be dropped about 1 meter, so that's a 3-foot drop, and it's still going to function. And this flashlight is also supposed to be waterproof, which is really cool. So let's go ahead and put the flashlight together, and then we'll take a look at some of the different lighting features that this flashlight can put out. So when you're installing the battery, particularly the rechargeable, you're going to go ahead and unscrew off the back plate with your push button. You're going to place in your little guide here that keeps everything lined up. And then you're going to go ahead and insert the battery with a positive side toward the light's head. So you get the positive side. So you're going to go ahead and put that in first and just slide it down the tube. Then you're going to go ahead and screw on the back of your flashlight here. And you can see that red piece there. That's an O-ring, so that's actually what's going to be sealing out the water. So then you're going to just ensure that everything's nice and tight. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and do a full press, which you're going to press it in, you're hearing an audible click, and then you're going to let go. That's a full press, and then in order to change modes, we're going to do half presses, where you just press it down, and you'll see the light change without hearing any audible clicks. So we're going to do a full press. So there we go. We have our spot and flood high. Then you're going to do a half press, and that's going to just change it to a spot high or spotlight high. Then you're going to go one more half press, and that's going to give you your floodlight high, which this would be just an ideal light for just wandering around. You don't need to be having a blinding light shooting way off into the distance if you're just, you know, out on a hike or searching for something. And then we're going to go to a flood low. Okay, and then our next mode is going to be our SOS mode, which this is a really cool feature, especially if you're out like in the woods or something like that, if you get lost and you need some help, or during an emergency, if you needed to attract some help. So you do half press. And so we're pumping out SOS here in Morse code, which is just cool. You know, I mean, you don't have to do any work, and it's just a nice feature to have. And then our last mode on here is going to be strobe. And then this is, you know, you're clearing a house or something, you want to blind the bad guy so that you have the opportunity to take care of business first. So, you know, this could also be used to just temporarily blind an attacker. You know, if you're just on a hike, walking your dog or something like that, and somebody comes up and attacks you or attempts to attack you, you can just throw it on the strobe mode. You're going to blind them enough for you to get away, which is also another a good option when you're out there, especially by yourself if you're unarmed or anything like that. And then you just press your full click and then you're off. And so this will memorize the last selected mode for 10 seconds, and then we'll continue to cycle through the modes. So at this point, we've seen the flashlight, we've seen kind of what it does as far as functions. The fit and finish of this, it's a nice looking flashlight. I've done a few minor scratches, but overall, it still looks really good. I have some really nice stream lights that it's the same thing. You're gonna wear your finish off slowly but surely. And it's got a nice clip here, so you can have good positive retention on it while you're using it. So at this point, I think I'm gonna go ahead and throw in some footage of me actually using this at night, just so you guys can get a good idea of what things actually look like when you're using it. So this is really, so far, it's a cool flashlight, and I think you guys are going to like what you see when I use it outside. So let's go ahead and put some of that footage in. Okay, so here we are outside, and we're just going to go through the different modes on the flashlight so you can see. So here's our spot flood combo. There's on the fence over there. Really, if anything, it's the camera that's not doing it justice. It looks way brighter in real life. So then we'll go to our next mode, and this is just the spotlight mode. So it's just ever so slightly a little dimmer. Then here's our flood, our high flood, and the camera barely even picks it up. But I mean, let's see, if I just point it straight at the ground, it lights up where I'm standing all the way, basically to the fence I can see. So I mean, it really does flood. It's a very wide angle. And then our slightly lighter flood, and same thing, the camera's really not picking it up very well, but I can easily see the fence, which is probably about at least 30 feet away from me. And then we'll go into our next mode. It's our SOS. That's pretty cool, nice and bright. And then our last mode, which is just our blinding light, and that definitely works. I mean, it's bright enough that it's making me have a little bit twitchy eyes right now. So then here we are back on our just full bright mode, and it really does a nice job of lighting things up. Okay, so now that you guys have seen what this flashlight looks like when it's in use, I'm pretty impressed with this light. I think that if you wanted a nice little tactical flashlight, or just a light to go hiking with or camping with or anything like that, you wouldn't be disappointed. This light would serve its purpose, and it would function well, even under some adverse conditions. So I think it's a really good flashlight. I think you guys should check them out. And there's also, you can't forget, there's also the other two models, which is really cool. So if something with 800 lumens is not quite what you're looking for, maybe you want something that's just a little less powerful, then those are options as well. So check them out. Check out these flashlights, and I would recommend getting one. I don't think you'd be disappointed. But now at this point, I think we should move on to the Flexit 4.0 giveaway that we're doing. Striker Concepts donated these two lights for me to give to you guys, and who doesn't like free stuff? So this light's really cool. I haven't had a chance to actually mess with one much myself, but it's just kind of like an all-purpose multi-use flashlight. The way they describe it, you can use it as a spotlight, floodlight, red light, or a strobe light, and then so it's got different colored LEDs throughout. And then the unique thing about this light is it's flexible, so you can turn it and mold it to fit whatever your situation or need is, so you can bend it however you want. And so they're saying this puts out 400 lumens. You can wrap it around and hang it up, so it's like a lantern, or prop it up and just have it sit along a bag to be like a work light, or even use it to hike around with. So this is also, you know, a weather resistant light, so that way you can be out in the elements and it's not going to fall apart. Plus, it's kind of a desert, you know, like a coyote tan kind of color, which is really neat as well. So in order to enter this giveaway, which is, I'm sure, what you guys are dying to know at this point, all you have to do is comment on the link below which Striker Concepts flashlight you would like to have, and then from there I'll go through and I'll pick a winner. We're gonna give away the first flashlight at 2,500 views. So I'm gonna go through the comments at that point. We're gonna do a random draw and pick a winner out of the views from that. And then when we hit 5,000 views, we'll give away the second flashlight here. And that'll be from the same thing. It'll be just the comments. So if you put in and you don't win at 2,500 views, you'll still have a chance to win when we hit 5,000 views. That's the only requirement. I found it's way harder to do the giveaway where you require people to like, comment, share, you know, follow you, do all this stuff. It's just too complicated, and I personally myself don't even want to waste the time to do all that stuff on some of the stuff, even if it's cool. So it has to be really cool for me to really go through all that. And although this is really cool, I want to make it easy on you guys. So share this video with your friends if you want to. You know, the sooner we get to those numbers, the sooner somebody's going to get a free flashlight, and then a little later on somebody else. So I would just like to thank you guys for watching. Thank Striker Concepts for donating these lights to give away. And I just want to show you real quick here just a few things in their catalog. Just got all sorts of random different things that would be useful for different particular, you know, scenarios. So there's the original Flexit, and then this is the Flexit 4.0. They also have one for your car. The B.A.M.F.F. This one is actually kind of cool too, the Tri-Light. You know, let me know if you guys are interested in seeing any of this other stuff. And, you know, maybe we can work a little bit with them in the future to showcase some of their other flashlights. And they actually have other products too. Like construction pencil. It's kind of like a lead pencil, but for construction workers. So it's a really cool company. You know, they have a lot of kind of innovative stuff that you don't see at a normal flashlight company. So I left their website information down below, so go ahead and check them out. If there's anything that you want to try, just go ahead and order it, and I don't think you're going to be disappointed when you get it. So at this point in time, I'd like to say God bless America, long live the Constitution, and thanks for watching.